We talk about budget knives on this channel all the time, but we usually stick to a handful of brands. Kizer, CJRB, Artisan, some of the others. But there's a handful of companies out there you may not have heard of that are doing great budget knives. And there's also a couple of companies that are doing budget knives that you might not think of. And those are the two we're going to look at first, and then we'll get into this stuff you haven't ever seen before. Let's look into it right now. And the first one is Buck Knives. A lot of you guys aren't going to think of Buck Knives as being a budget brand, but this is the Buck 119 Special, which is an amazing knife, and it is under $100 depending on the version you get. Here, if you scroll their website, I showed you there's a bunch that you can see that are still very cheap. Now, a lot of times their knives are American made. They're done in a quality heat treat, and I've never had a bad knife as far as quality. I've had knives that didn't appeal to me that came from Buck. One of them being, I can't remember, it was a flipper that they tried to do, but it had, it was quality made. This is no exception. Buck Knives has been making knives in this country for a long time, more than 80 years. So they have got a lot of knives on the roster that people just forget that are a decent option for under $100. Like I said, Buck 119 Special, classic knife, under $100. So if you haven't checked out Buck Knives website for a while, you might want to. I'll put a link to a couple of the ones that I find to be really good special ones, including this, that are under $100 are decent. So if you're looking for an American-made knife that is budget, which a lot of people argue and be like, oh, you only do Chinese-made knives. Well, the fact is there are a few, and Buck Knives is one of the big ones. So like I said, check them out. They've got a lot of budget options on their roster. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one that you might not think of as a budget brand. And it's Cold Steel Knives. Now, a lot of people think of Cold Steel. They immediately think of these super high-end Cen VG1 Cen steel or VG10 Cen that they do, and they are expensive. This is like a $400 knife. But the fact is, there's a budget version of this knife, and they have a tendency to make the same knife in two different versions. This is the OSS. This is a Cold Steel. This is a much cheaper version of their very popular, very expensive Black Bear Classic that you've seen on the channel. This is a $70 knife. That is a $300 knife. But the fact is, they have a long line of very affordable, well-done knives. This Kudu, under $20. Actually, it's under $10. Awesome, well-made knife. Some of their mini knives that you're going to get, these are the best little micro and mini knives you're going to find. They have a lot of budget sometimes under $50 folders that you can come across, and I have yet to have one of them fail me. Cold Steel has been a brand that absolutely delivers every time. They have some of the best heat treat in the business. You're able to get their knives pretty much all the time. They're available at a lot of different vendors, and they are usually some of the better made knives. They do have some issues with like sheath material and stuff like that, but you got to admit, Cold Steel brings it when it counts, and they definitely are putting out a lot of good, decent, budget-friendly knives. So let's move on to the next one, which is a brand you may not have heard of. And it's a company called Migron and AM8. Now, the AM8 is a branch of the Migron knife. So this is the Migron Valona. This was the best budget knife I had ever gotten for a long time. It still is one of the top budget knives I ever got. This is under 100, I believe, still, but they also are making great knives in super quality material. This is S90V, and this is I think this is the Gladiator 2, if I remember correctly, but they are making really good knives. Their machining is off the charts good. I have had zero issues with quality. Some of the best action on a budget knife you're going to find, especially this Migron Valona, which is still my highest recommended budget knife. I honestly was mad at Jared because I thought this was going to be much more expensive when I looked up the actual price. You can check out their entire line of knives. They have a website. I'll post it up here. I'll scroll down through it a little bit. You can see they have a lot of knives in their roster, and they are all very well made. Now, I didn't like the Prey Art 2, but I love this. Every once in a while, a company will give you a stinker, but this, honestly, like I said, has been one of my most carried knives for a while now, and it's just simply an amazing budget option. So that's a company you may want to look into. Like I said, it's AM8 and Migron. So there you go, guys. Let's move on to the next company you may not have heard of. and it is Remt Knives. Now, this is a company that reached out to me, sent me a knife, and out of the gate, I was super impressed. This is the only one I have currently here at the house, but you can see right here, there are a bunch of knives that they offer on Amazon through direct sale through there. You pick them up using my Amazon store, a great way to support the channel, by the way. And they have impressed me at every showing. This is not a knife that is something that I typically would be into, but I have to admit, it is done well. The action on this is amazing, and they have yet to let me down with their quality. All three of the knives that I've had on the channel have been stellar. They've been done as giveaways. Absolutely loved them. They have had button lock that they gave me. There was one that is kind of like an old Spyderco looking, with pocket clip looking knife that was really good. Not a Spyderco knockoff. And then this one, which is this little Tonto dagger. And like I'm saying, look at the action on that. And there is zero blade play in that. That is locked up like a bank vault. So a company you may not have heard of, but definitely need to just take a look at if you're just looking for something that's getting well done, doesn't break the bank. They're not trying to be anything they aren't. They know they're a budget knife company. There's not a lot of bells and whistles on their stuff, but that means that there's a lot of savings. And like I said, the function and overall quality of the knives I've received from them has just been stellar. So let's hear from this video sponsor and then move on to the next one. Guys, did you know that Coffee Brand Coffee has more than just awesome on-demand roasted coffees and flavored coffees? They also have tea, cocoa, cold brew bags, decaf, and they have premium candies that will make your family go nuts. So check them out with the link down below to save 10% on some of the best coffee you're going to find. Big shout out to Jeremy and the Coffee Brand Coffee for sponsoring this channel. This is Tresta Knives, and Tresta Knives has yet to disappoint me with anything I've seen. Seen several other knives. This is the Volans. Just finished shooting a video about this yesterday, and it is incredibly good. These are the only two I have. This is the Orion. As you can see, it got used a lot. My buddy used it for some stuff. I'm gonna do a video where I clean this up and stonewash this blade. But this has been a super good carry. I carry this knife a lot. This was a gift from Jared over at Remt Knives. Introduced me to this brand, and I find them to be excellent. The ergos on them are great. Their grinds are great. I have yet to have one that did not cut well that I've seen. The edge grinds and everything are very well done. Nice and slicey. The action and ergos on them is great. Just their design language is awesome. Even this one that I found to be unattractive at first, I've seen other versions of it, and it's not an ugly knife. It's a unique knife, but definitely look at this is dirty, and the action on this is still really good. These are just a standout, hands down, no frills, awesome budget brand. They have knives that are much more intricate and well done, but even on this is $84. You've got a lot of milling in this beautiful micarta handle. Fell in love with this knife, so can't go wrong with Tresta. They're a brand that I absolutely recommend to a lot of people. This is a company that I'm like, hey, go check out Tresta. I don't even have an affiliate link with them, and I'm sending them business, so that should tell you something. So let's move on to the final knife company. And it's Citaven. I've seen several Citaven knives that come from Jared and from other people that are well under the $50 mark, and they are incredible. This one is under $150 right now. This is a full titanium and carbon fiber. This knife is incredible. You can see here, as I scroll down through, you can see some of the offerings that they have. Absolutely a great company when you're looking at budget knives. This knife is amazing, but I'm going to tell you right now, their cheaper options aren't any worse. The only difference in this is just what you're seeing in the handle material. The ones that I've had come in that were in D2 and S35VN that were in, a more budget friendly option, still the same level of quality. You're just getting higher level materials on this. Look at the action on this. They absolutely know what they're doing. That is just dangerously drop shut, and it is locked in tight. I've seen from them some of the best sub $50 knives that I've seen, hands down. And their more expensive options are just incredible. Beautiful balance on this. If you haven't checked out the Citaven knives, you need to check them out. I'll put a link down below to some of their knives in purchase links and stuff like that. But absolutely a great company if you're looking for something that's not going to break the bank, but definitely will perform well. So there you go, guys. That was 6 budget knife companies that you might not have thought of as budget or that you've never heard of. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. There you go, guys. That was fun. And I thought of these two because buck knives and cold steel knives are knife companies that just get left out of the budget knife debate a lot of times. They get left out of the fold. So they definitely do have a lot of really cool budget offerings. And like I said, Cold Steel offers their high-end knives in more affordable versions. And you just can't go wrong with them. So there you go, guys. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. Don't like them, give them a thumbs down. I want to remind everyone I've started a Discord that's open to all of the subscribers, not just the paying members. I have got a lot of affiliate links down below where you can pick up knives from GP Knives, Knife Ship Free, Blade HQ, Vosteed, Artisan and CJRB, Civivi and We, all kinds of stuff down there. So don't forget to check them out. I've got coupon codes set up at Ferrum Forge Knife Works and Rosecraft Blades. It's the same coupon code. It is Crazy Sharp, all one word. That code also works at both of my sponsors, Coffee Brand Coffee and Tempered Trail. They have links down below with the discount built in, but if using a coupon code is easier for you, feel free. It works across all of those I just mentioned. Amazon store down below. Take that link, pin it to your browser, use it for any shopping you're going to do. Some of these knives are only available there here in the US. And I do have a membership. It's all tier-based. Check out the benefits, but there are a lot of stuff that everyone gets. Everyone gets exclusive content. Everyone gets access to my private Discord server. And the baseline guys get entered into giveaways along with the premium guys, and the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series here on YouTube. Guys, that's it on this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.